two stories remain as unbeatens collide for the title.
Could it get any more dramatic?
Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines are looking to finish the mission, while Michael Penix Jr. and the Huskies hope to write their perfect ending.
The final chapter, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
A new playoff champion will be crowned. The College Football Playoff National Championship. Number 1 Michigan versus number 2 Washington. Monday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with Stephen Wallace. In each show, Stephen will interview someone connected to the world of horse racing or cricket.
Hello everyone. On today's podcast, I was joined by Newmarket trainer Ilka Gansera-Leveque to talk about art and horse racing, her unique art exhibition due to be held at her racing stables over the Guineas weekend. Before we find out the full story from Ilka, here are a few opening clips from some of the artists who will be exhibiting at Art and Horse Racing.
It's a great honor to be included in that, and I hope that Ilka puts that show on every year. It'd be great.
We're coming to see the show. We'll be there for the private opening. We won't be there from then on, but it will be very exciting to see. Very.
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. It's definitely a different venue for me, and I'm looking forward to the entire experience.
I am really looking forward to it. As I mentioned to you before, I haven't been to Newmarket. So the whole kind of town, I'm really excited to kind of go to the area and kind of get involved in the atmosphere. And then I've spoken to Ilka, and she's full of energy and excitement. So yeah, it's just she's quite a character, and I'm looking forward to going to her yard. It looks beautiful and it's really exciting.
Hello, Ilka. Welcome back to the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Hi, Stephen. Thanks for having me on.
Well, you were last on in February 2021 in episode 35, and we're now getting near 200. So a long while ago.
Yeah, I know. You're a professional podcaster. It's amazing. You're always at it.
Well, today we're going to talk about art and horse racing. Your exciting new art exhibition. Saint Wendred's must be getting like an art gallery at the moment.
Yeah, it is an art gallery. We're getting ready. We're down to the final furlong now. All the art is on site, and now it's just a matter of displaying it and getting, all these little things that need to be done. Even if you just have a regular open day, you just, you're always getting stuff done, and, everything's ordered, everything's ready to go. You can't hear stuff in the background, but I ordered these display rails that galleries have for one of the rooms, because I think we're going to be doing this again, so might as well.
Yeah, the DIY man's keeping busy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's keeping busy. And we got runners as well, and everything's happening. So tomorrow we pull out 5:30 first lot on the grass. Happy days. But who needs sleep?
Well, in this podcast, we are going to be getting clips from 10 of the 14 artists, and we're going to talk about the other 4. But before we start, for the listeners of the Paddock and the Pavilion, what is art and horse racing, and how did you come up with the idea?
Well, art and horse racing is going to be an art exhibition at my racing yard, Saint Wendred's in Newmarket. And I thought about, I don't know, I had this idea back in January, and, I always do a nice open day for owners. And at first I thought that would be a really nice combination of things. And then it just kind of grew and morphed into this really big event. And now I think we're going to definitely do it as an annual art exhibition, like a pop-up gallery type thing. But also already have some people asking, or some artists asking, to do another one in July. And I love it. I love art. I want this to be an event where all are welcome. The private view is going to be a nice thing for my owners. And then the next day it'll be everybody, we want to do these things on race days. So that's when Newmarket is the busiest, obviously during the sales season and the big Guineas festival weekend or July festival. That's when we want to do it. We're 2 minutes from the racecourse, 4 minutes from Tats. And I think that's something that Newmarket is missing, and everybody's excited about it. And we're going to be covering, all sizes, all styles of paintings and all price ranges. So there's something for everybody.
Well, listeners will have heard at the beginning of this podcast how excited the artists are about coming along to Saint Wendred. Just remind us about the timings as well.
So it's Sunday, May 7th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if you're staying to the last race, don't worry, we'll still be open. Just swing by to or from the races, or if you're not going racing, come by during the day. And like I said before, if you're in the area and you want to have a sneak peek of something, if you see one of the artists that you're really interested in, everything's here. You can have a look. If you want to buy it beforehand, that's great. So it can be exhibited. You need to leave it here for the exhibition. But come and have a look.
Well, let's get started with the artists. We've got a really international flavour, and we're going to start off internationally with the American contingent. The first one is Peggy Judy. She's a contemporary Western artist. And in this clip, Peggy described her style.
I guess I don't know if I want to do anything more, but it ended up being more contemporary from my art school background, which is very graphic oriented. So I take the same subjects that everybody paints, and I just try to simplify it into not only telling the story of a cowboy on a horse, but making it an interesting design concept, not just a depiction of an event, but more of a little bit more artsy, I guess, a little bit more graphic, but still staying somewhat realistic.
You've got a connection with Peggy because her husband's also a vet.
Yeah, that was a funny coincidence. I've never met her personally, but when you listen to her life and what she's done and her husband have built in Colorado, the similarities are there. And I follow her art and love her art. So it's going to be great to exhibit that type of style here. And I hope there'll be some visitors that like Western art. I have 3 pieces of hers here. One of them is called Lookout. One of them is called Balance. And one of them is called Happy Place.
We haven't just got painters in this exhibition. We've also got sculptors. And one of them is Amanda Markle. And in this short clip, she explains to me what negative space is. But you've got to tell us now about negative space and positive space and what they mean.
Yeah, so the idea of negative and positive space, it basically describes, so positive space is when you're drawing something, it's the subject itself. And the negative space is the space that is in between or around it. So if you think of, drawing a chair, it's the space in between the legs of the chair. So I have actually started designing pieces that have negative space that goes inside of the piece. So I kind of think about the structure of an animal and the flow of the muscles, and then we'll have open air space that goes in between those that kind of adds a lightness and a flow and movement inside of the piece rather than just around it.
Amanda's from Montana in the United States. What has she got exhibiting at Art and Horse Racing?
Well, we have something really special. They are, I have 4 little wine stoppers. They're miniature bronze sculptures after one of her really famous and main ones called Mountain Heart. So they're the mini Mountain Heart wine stopper. It's a wolf, and the whole story behind it is amazing if you want to read up on that. And then we also have a tabletop horse or equine sculpture, Aria. That's her newest one. That's a limited edition of 19. And it's a beautiful plinth. It's a beautiful piece. It's different, but like the wine stoppers, I was like, oh, we're going to have some wine tasting here. So that really goes with the theme. And they're just beautiful little miniature sculptures.
But it's great you've got such variety in this exhibition, haven't we? With, as you say, with sculptors and painters.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was my main aim, like to have something here for every taste and really, showcase different works of art. And we have some big names in this exhibition as well. So I'm quite proud of that.
Our next painter is Diana Cook from New York State, and she has quite a major racing connection in her family. And this is what she had to say.
George Pope was my grandfather, and he had a Derby winner, Kentucky Derby winner in 1962 called Decidedly. And the following year, the year I was born, his horse Hill Rise lost by a nose in that same race. And then the next big horse he had was J.O. Tobin. And so when Ilka and I became friends, kind of through email back and forth, I was telling her a little bit about, my grandfather and his horses and stuff like that. And she said, oh, did you know that, Cliff Lines lives down the road from me. And he was one of the people that brought J.O. Tobin back and forth from the UK to the States. And I said, really, that's kind of amazing.
Diana's got a real racing connection, though, and she's done a painting for you in the Vantage Point Racing Club colours.
Yeah, it's called Gotta Fly. It's a race. If you look very closely, you can tell. And that's the special thing about Diana's work. It's so detailed, and every little thing has a meaning. So if you like look at her paintings, you always find more and more and more. So the winning colors are the Vantage Point Racing colors, and then the second horse are her grandfather's colors. So it's pretty cool. And then we also have, besides that, she painted that especially for art and horse racing, which I'm really honored. And then we also have some of her other English type themed work, or like, let's say agricultural themed work. We have some like a working sheepdog and a shearing one. So we have a few with sheep. And then one of her shadow boxes that she actually doesn't do anymore because she couldn't get the boxes, or there's a story behind that as always. But so we have one of the last remaining shadow boxes, which is a hunt meet scene with the hunt. It's really cool. You can see it on my Instagram. Again, yeah, different themes.
She's got a real racing connection, though, because her grandfather also owned J.O. Tobin, the top 2-year-old in the UK in 1976, and in 1978 was the top American sprinter.
Yeah, it's really cool racing connection and a Newmarket connection, because of course he was trained in Newmarket. And she'll be here for the exhibition. She's coming over for the exhibition, and all the visitors will be able to chat to her and meet her.
Our next American guest, who also will be attending art and horse racing, is Rachel Constantine, who's now based in Cambridge and has been there for the last 10 months. And in this short clip, she talks about her love of art.
I mean, my big love is oil paint. I love the tactile meatiness of the paint itself. It's very sculptural, but it's also, it also is workable for a long period of time, which is very appealing to me. I like to be able to change things.
What kind of themes do you have for Rachel?
I have beautiful, beautiful florals, and then she does a series of skies. So the series of the skies, you can buy them one by one. They're like little square, they're on birch wood panels, I guess it's called. And you can buy them one by one, or if you buy more than two, the price goes down. They really look good in multiples. And then the florals are, roses, peonies, and magnolia. My favorite, I love hydrangeas. There's a white hydrangea. I said, don't you have a blue hydrangea? Maybe next time. Blue hydrangeas, I love them.
Well, Rachel's a classical realist oil painter, and it's fantastic to think that she will be there on the 7th of May.
Yeah, she's very well known for her portrait art as well. So, it's great to have a serious artist like that taking part in the show. Just lifts up the whole event.
Our next painter from America is Terry Lindsay. She is a painter and also a gallery owner in New England. And in this short clip, she explained why she loves to paint horses.
Because I love horses, period. End of story. I love the smell. I love touching them. I love the way they sound. I love their rhythm, their cadence. I mean, there's what's to not love?
On the subject of horses, one of Terry's paintings is the banner for art and horse racing.
Yes, exactly. So if you're driving by the yard, you'll see it. It's called Racing Dreams. It's a bunch of foals, the way they lay in the grass and the pasture. It's your typical summer scene of foals laying in the sunshine. And she just always gets these, the life, when people are horse people, they get it. And she sometimes has themes that aren't, not just that horse running across the winning line.
And Terry's going to be there as well.
Yeah, I'm very honored as well that they made the flight over, her and her husband. They're coming over for the private view, and then they're going to spend a few days hiking in the Cotswolds and seeing some friends. They have friends in Cambridge. So, she's a busy lady. That gallery is open like 7 days a week, and they're taking time out and coming over. But I guess that's what life's all about, right? Sometimes you got to do these things.
Got to mention her gallery, her name, the gallery especially, Tilting at Windmills.
Yes, Tilting at Windmills Gallery in Manchester, Vermont. I've never been to that gallery. I only saw her equine one at Saratoga. So next time, and it's on the list, I'm going to Saratoga. Manchester, Vermont is like an hour and a half or an hour away. I want to see that gallery. It's a real destination gallery. And, you got to love the name. That's what I do every day, Tilting at Windmills. So I love the name, and she has some very amazing artists there.
Yeah, I think Diana Cook is actually exhibited at Tilting at Windmills.
Yes, she's one of Terry's artists. Yeah, small world.
And you first met Terry just before you got married?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, when we were we got married in Saratoga. So yeah, Stefan and I went to one of her Equide exhibitions, and we got to talking and kept in touch.
Well, from across the Atlantic, we're now going to go across the channel to talk about Benedict Gillet, who loves painting horses' eyes, and this is what Benedict had to say.
Or I can even paint big eye, close up on the eye. I
think I've seen some of them on the website. The close up of the eyes. Yeah.
Yes. And I really love that. And of course, I wanted to do that in a modern way. And graphic design, my graphic design job part helped me a lot because I love the line, the black line. I use it a lot in my work.
Benedict is coming over from southwest France for art and horse racing. What is Benedict exhibiting?
Yeah, she's bringing 10 pieces. Everybody that sees her work loves it, even non-horse people, because she has this really, the expression of her horses, they just show so much emotion in them. And then it's very interesting, her work. She includes so many different media, like it'll be chalk and pencil, and sometimes a little bit of embroidery. And there was one really big one. Stefan said, "Oh, that would look really good in the stair, in our staircase thingy." And I was like, "Yeah, it sure would." So, there's so many nice things now. It's just like, yeah, if that doesn't sell. So I need people to come and buy.
Well, she describes herself as an artist of the sensitive. I must admit, I do love her horse's eyes.
Yeah, it's just amazing, and they're even so much better when you see them live. Like when you see the painting, social media or a screen just doesn't do it justice. And also we have one really big one, like 1.30 meters. So it's really imposing. There's some blue tones, and then there's some like earthier tones. There's some like extremely abstract. And then the other ones, it's just like, wow, the eye is just like, it's like it's alive.
Well, we're getting through. I think we're about halfway now from the guests. Next one is Garth Bailey. He's a South African born, now based in Middlesbrough. And in this short clip, he explained to me why he loves cycling. Why do you like cycling?
I started off painting people, and people morphed into dots because it had to do with the movement, and I really love movement. Then I added in the mechanics of the cycling, because you think of cyclists and they're all athletes. And then I really love mixing the wheels and the cycles, and then that progressed onto the horse racing, because again, it's this people in sport and the movement. It all sort of relates through that same thread.
And Ilka, you've got some cycling paintings of Garth's.
Yeah, we have cycling, some horses. One of like what do you call it up there? The heather up Yorkshire way with a Barnaby, the sheep in it. That's a very large one. Some contemporary racing scenes, but the cycling ones are the best. There's one there. I already showed it to George Wood. There's one really, really nice cycling one. And I thought like that's a good combination too. First of all, I'd never really seen any cycling art. And I thought that's great, like to have the combination of different sports. It's the same thing. It's racing, it's bold, it's colorful. So you have all these dynamics. You have the one artist that shows the emotion of the horse, and you have another one with a really powerful other sport. Then we have like dogs, landscapes, seascapes. So it all kind of complements each other in a way. With Peggy Judy's ranching ones, there's so many comparisons to the hard work, that there's beauty in hard work, and yeah, if you're a cyclist, you're training like crazy, just like the horses are. So yeah, we have this bold movement of his really fits in. And I didn't know that he was actually he was also for a while he had his art at Hamilton Racecourse, like in the owner's suites or whatever upstairs. So there's some big ones here that used to be up there, and he doesn't live near Hamilton anymore. So it's also a small world.
So does George Wood like cycling then?
Oh, he's big into cycling, yeah. So I'm hoping he's going to buy a painting.
You found Garth on Instagram, I think.
No, I found him on an art site called First Dibs. I saw one of his I was just looking at horse art. I don't know, because I like to look at art, like I said before, in one of my other interviews. And then, yeah, he's on Instagram.
It seems to be quite a popular medium for painters and artists, isn't it? Instagram.
Yeah, all of the artists, that's the one thing that they're all on. They're all of the 14 artists that are taking part in here are on Instagram. So that's a good place to find them. Then some of them don't even have websites. So Instagram is the way. If you want to look them up on Instagram.
And links to all of them are on your own website.
Yeah, if you go on my website, you can click on their image, and then it'll take you through to wherever they are represented, like if they have a website, or to their Instagram.
We should move on to the 4 artists who I haven't got any audio with. The first one is Liz Armstrong. She's very well known in racing circles. She's worked with AP McCoy, Barry Geraghty. What else can you tell us about Liz Armstrong?
Yeah, everybody, I think, she has a stand at Windsor. She's always at Cheltenham. She's always at Newbury. People in racing know her. Her work, very contemporary. She does a lot of National Hunt stuff. That's why I didn't have any National Hunt. So I said, Liz, come on, you got to take part. So with her work, we have, she does mixed media as well. So we have some National Hunt, and we have all sizes. And we actually have one Western, like a cowboy watercolor of hers, but the rest is all National Hunt. So yeah, people will know her.
Yeah, she had her own stand at the Cheltenham Festival, and each day at the Cheltenham Festival, she was on the Nick Luck podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, she's very well known within racing circles, and you can find her on Twitter as well, and Instagram, obviously, and her website. But yeah, when you see her work, you'll be like, oh, I've seen this before, like you'll recognize it.
The next one I was going to talk to you about is Jackie Hardman. What can you tell us about Jackie, and what paintings has she got on display at Art and Horse Racing?
Well, Jackie, she does oils, and she has a beautiful hounds. Everybody that sees these hounds just loves them. If even the other artists, they go, "Oh, those are good." So we have hounds, and we have a seascape and a few seascapes and some racing scenes like behind the starting stalls. I thought that was a cool scene, something different. I was just looking for not your typical, horse head or whatever. So we have, but the hounds are a hit. So come and check them out.
Two more guests without audio. The next one, Mandy Dearsley from, I think, Colchester. She's a sculptor, and I think you've got a hair, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, we have some bronze resin hairs, a couple different ones, one sitting, one jumping away. And then we have cold cast iron cockerel. And then also she paints. So we have some, like a pastel one of a black lab, and also some hairs and stuff. So yeah, it's good to have the Suffolk hair, that goes good with the whole event. And I thought that it's a nice mix.
And will Mandy be there?
She'll be here, so people will have a chance to talk to her directly. She's done a lot of commissions for people as well. So, you never know.
Jackie and Liz, will they both be there as well?
Yep, Jackie and Liz will be here. Garth will not be here. He's doing something for the coronation.
Yeah, we mustn't forget it's coronation weekend. It's Guineas weekend. It's a very big weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I thought like go big, or what is that? Or go home or whatever. So, it's what it is. That's why, yeah, we're going to do the public day on the Sunday all day, not on the Saturday.
But you're right close to the racecourse. So there's no reason why people can't still go racing and come to Art and Horse Racing.
Exactly. They can gamble on the horses, bet on the horses, and then spend their winnings at Saint Wendred's and buy a nice piece of art.
One artist who I know won't be there is Phyllis Floyd. She is the oldest artist, I believe, who is exhibiting at Art and Horse Racing.
Yeah, Phyllis Floyd is from New York City, and she is a still life painter. And she has some of her work at Kettle's Yard in Cambridge and all over the world. And honored to have her being part of the show.
But I think you said that her daughter, who's also in the art business, will be attending the exhibition.
Yes, her daughter Eve Waldron she's a designer, so she'll in Cambridge. She has a studio in Cambridge, so she'll be here, and she'll be able to tell you more about her mom that does watercolor paintings.
Well, we've been to the States, we've been to France. Now we're going to Cambridge with Clive Dawson. And in this short clip, he explained to me how he goes about painting local scenes.
What I tend to do is go out for a day with a camera, have a wander around and take lots of photographs. And mostly I do paint in the studio from those photographs. I won't say that I don't go outside and do the en plein air painting, because sometimes I do, but I'm one for a little bit more luxury and having everything around me. And so most of the work that I would put as a finished piece is done in the studio.
Clive's also a big racing fan. He goes to Newmarket and Huntingdon. What have you got from Clive?
Well, I really wanted some local Cambridge scenes, so that's mainly what we have. But I also have some florals and two funny cockerels, and he paints with acrylics. So it's bold, it's peppy, and it's great to have. I wanted the mix of local and international, so it's perfect.
Yeah, I know Clive's very much looking forward to being there at Art and Horse Racing. Coming to the end now, Ilka, I'm getting exhausted here. The next guest is Debbie Burt. She's an award-winning photographer, racing journalist, and sculptor. And in this clip, Debbie told me about how she began as a sculptor.
But in my 30s, I had the opportunity to do a bronze casting course, and which was only a week long. And I made a bronze horse's head during that week and found that I really enjoyed the whole process. And at the time, I had in addition to my day job, I had a part-time job in a pub, and talking to one of the customers there, he said, "Oh, well, look, I'll commission you to do a horse's head." So I did a head of Best Mate, who was the most famous national hunt racehorse at the time, who the chap was really fond of. And then from that, he said, "Oh, well, maybe next time you should do one with legs." So I did another one of Best Mate, but this time a whole body, and it just sort of developed from there, really.
Ilka, you got some really powerful sculptures from Debbie at the exhibition.
Yes, I'm really proud that we're getting to exhibit Elegance, which is a beautiful quarter life-size horse head. It's a limited edition of 3, and this is number 1. So it's really worth coming to see it. I know it's an investment when you buy a big piece like that, but this is beautiful, proper art.
But it's not just horses you've got from Debbie. You've also got, I think, an elephant and a hound.
Yeah, baby elephant and then a hound, which is called On the Scent. So those are a little bit smaller. And then we have another one, which is a limited edition of 9 called Strength. So we have all price ranges of Debbie's as well.
I know Debbie will be at the races in her professional capacity, but will she also be at the exhibition?
Yeah, when she's done at the races, she'll pop in. So you'll also have a chance to meet her and talk to her.
Our final painter to hear from is Emily Johnson. She's well known to the Paddock and the Pavilion. She was on episode 172, and she's the resident artist at Cheltenham Racecourse. And in this clip, she talked about her style and the artists who inspired her.
My own style. So I'm really inspired by classical artists, George Stubbs and Alfred Munnings. I love classical art, and even back to kind of like the really, really old artwork, Da Vinci or his sketches of horses. I love all of that, but I don't want to repeat history. I want to kind of put a modern twist on things. So I try and have a bit more of a contemporary background or modern compositions.
So from the home of jump racing to the home of flat racing, what have we got from Emily at the exhibition?
We have mainly oil work, but there's one of her charcoals as well, charcoal on panel, and then we have oil on canvas and oil on panel. And but there's one called Race Ready. It's one of her older ones. She used to do more in charcoal, and that's one of my favorites. And then there's also a racing saddle oil sketch. I really love that one as well. I might be hanging that into the tack room. I don't know yet. We're all thinking now, where are we going to place what? And also Emily will be here in person, and she'll be bringing her easel and painting on the day, which I thought that was her idea. So it's a great idea. And she also offered, and it was also her idea, to do a giveaway, a prize giveaway. And I'm really happy. Yeah, I hope a lot of people take part in that. It's a watercolor sketch of little horses. You can see it on her Instagram, and you have to do the usual: share, like, subscribe, and tag 2 people in the comments. And then we'll pick a winner on the day. And if it's an international winner, no problem. I will send it to you.
Well, that all sounds good. And that's all 14 guests now covered. All the information about them is also on your website. And if anyone wants to listen to extended interviews of the 10 guests that we've heard from on this podcast, they feature on the Vantage Point Racing Club podcasts number 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about them, you can learn more about them that way. It's going to be a great event, and we're going to have so many different things to choose from. So I'm really looking forward to having the Paddock and the Pavilion listeners coming by Saint Wendred.
Well, let's hope so. We're less than a week now from the Art and Horse Racing exhibition. Have you got all the art and sculptures there?
Yep, everything is here. And now it's all a matter of getting it right now with the weather. It looks like as long as it's not windy and rainy, we have plan A and plan B. So we'll have to just, it's all going to be down to the last day.
So it's a busy few days for the DIY man, Stefan, then?
Yeah, busy days. And then we have runners as well. We got runner on Tuesday, Wednesday, leading up to the event. And the sale is on, and the regular life is on, but it's all good. Like that's what life is all about. You got to make it happen.
You certainly have. Remind us again on the timings for this unique exhibition, Art and Horse Racing.
So it's May 7th, Saint Wendred's on Hamilton Road, 10 to 6 p.m. All welcome, and it's going to be art that makes you feel good. So looking forward to greeting you all.
On the day, Ilka, where can people park to attend Art and Horse Racing?
Well, right across from my yard, depending on if you're from which direction you're coming, but it's across from my yard. That's where my 13-acre paddock is, and I'll have a one of those big flag signs up, and that's where we'll do the parking in there, because the driveway, not that many cars will fit into the driveway. So you'll see the banner on our gate with the foals, and then across from the yard will be a big flag type thing, and the field will be open, and there'll be cars in there already. So that's where you park. And there'll be people pointing it out as well.
So if you see Terry Lindsay's banner, you'll know where to park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled.
Well, thank you very much again, Ilka, for joining me on the Paddock and the Pavilion. And thanks to all the guests who've also appeared on this show. The first time I've ever had 12 people on a podcast.
Yeah, you got to try new things.
Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you so much for all your support, and see you on the first weekend in May.
Thank you for listening to the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the Pad and Pav. Don't forget, if you like the show, please do leave us a rating and review.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.